Hey everybody, Michael here, and welcome back to PlayStation Homebrew News. So the very first thing that I did want to talk about is that we saw that Astrelsky had created this MP4 RW, which was MP4 read-write example, and that this was going to help allow us to get fake package games working on the PlayStation 5. Now, the reason that this repo has been archived is that the good news is that we have already got dumps already from 1.00 all the way up to 7.61. And now again, this could potentially lead to fake package files on the PlayStation 5. Now, if we go into one of these, you'll see that it's comprised of an elf, and then the IO.MDSR.txt, and then another file that's called MM, which is MDSR. And if I go ahead and I open up one of the text files here, then this right here is what that actually looks like. Now there's also this other file, and if we take a look at that one, then we can see this is what that looks like. Now the good news that is coming out of all of this is that it does look like we might be able to get PS5 fake package games sooner rather than later. And then there was a lot of talk around the scene around this post, which was a proof of concept for one of the WebKits that was published today, test on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. And so there is a proof of concept site that you can go to, and if you just come over here, you can load this on a PlayStation 4, 5, or whatever, and basically you just get this text down here. Now, don't worry, because as of now, there really isn't a lot that has come out of this, and that even with the source code that has obviously been released, then some thoughts over here from Zeko of Dark Alex's POC is an AI made and won't serve as proof that the console version is vulnerable to it. So, like anything, we will have to kind of wait and see about this. There is obviously some things in here that I noticed, like up here at the top, it says 2023 anonymous. This file is part of PSFree, so yeah, I'm not sure what will come out of this, but do keep in mind that a number of us are looking at this in the scene, and if anything comes out of this, we will keep you notified. And then the next thing that I had over here is that there is a remote LUA loader that has been out for some time now, but it has recently added support for another game. And so the title in question here is Jinky Resurrection, and this one has been added along with the demo of the same game. Now, with the demo, you will need to get on the very latest firmware in order to download that. And again, there is another demo that you can download as well. Now, my recommendation would be to those, say, for example, on a PlayStation 5 11.20, is that you might as well go ahead and download both of these demos just for extra backup, and they are completely free. But for those of you on lower firmwares, you will need to secure one of these game discs. Now, I took a look last night to see what some of the US prices were for this title, and what I found was that they were pretty high. Here for 120, another one for 126. I know this one was sponsored, but for the most part, it was about the same price. Now, over here, there was a recommendation that there is a cheap copy available at PlayAsia, and that it wasn't that expensive 2 weeks ago, less than $20. So yeah, now may be a good time if you are going to be using the remote LUA as your exploit to find one of these games. Next up, I thought I would share an update on PSFree and Lapse working on a PlayStation 4 9.00. Now, I have obviously been trying all of the updates over here from folks like Chameleon and others, And I have found that there is still a little bit of polish that is needed to get this over the finish line and to be something that is more worthwhile to use than the current method of exFat hacks. And so what we saw over here was that for Chameleon's site, which has kind of turned out to be one of the main hosts for this, has had a number of different pull requests from the community, which is always great to see. But then there was also this revert of adding a bin loader. Now, there is another version of the host that I would recommend if you are interested in trying out the PS-free Lapse on a PS4 9.00, and it is this one just right over here. And if you scroll down into this, you will see a website host, and if we click here, then this is what the host looks like. Now, you can put a check mark down here in Auto Gold Hen, and that there's also a little debug console. So you can go to this URL in your PlayStation 4 9.00 browser and start giving this one a shot. It seems like this may be one of the better methods to go with, at least as of today. Now, there was another update over here that I have been meaning to talk about, but it is a technical analysis of the decryption process for PlayStation 4 PKGs and PFS file formats. Now, I know that this document contains a lot of deep technical information, but it's just sometimes kind of like the flows presentations or write-ups that I just kind of like to peek through and take a look at. Now, I know a number of you are super technical, and so I always thought it might be nice just to kind of share this with the group here and for you to maybe take a look at how they do the encryption decryption of PKGs. So anyways, I'll leave this obviously included in the description if you want to take a little bit more of a look at how it works. Next up, we have a project called DirectPackageInstaller, which is what I have been using pretty much exclusively on PlayStation 5. But what we will see here is that if you scroll down into it, it says that this is a tool to preview and send PKG files to your PS4 or PS5 using direct download links. Now, it says that it has a couple of different methods, such as the remote package installer Homebrew, Gold Hen, or ETA Hen, which ETA Hen is by far the most popular. But what we saw just happened right around 2 days ago was that they did add in NFS support. So NFS support is for the network file system. I know a number of you use this, especially like in this scenario for a small home server where maybe you've got all your games loaded. And I did want to go ahead and just call that out that you can go ahead and begin starting to use this new version of Direct Package Installer. And I had another update over here for a tool that is just called PSXhub. And it says that this is a new app for transferring retail packages to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 over LAN or wireless LAN. And there was a little demo in here if you want to take a quick peek at it. So here they are sending over Little Nightmare 2. And then you can see down here, basically they're giving it these PKGs that they have on their local file system. And looks like it is updating a game there. So anyways, it's another way, another method of sending PKG files over to your system, and it is scoped, of course, just for retail packages, so you wouldn't want to use this with some of your fake packages. And then I did want to share with you that for the PS5 Nor Modifier, there is a Python version of this is out, so this is obviously something that was built by the coder, which now this project has a ton of different support coming out of it. But basically, this is a Windows application to rewrite your PS5 Nor file. I am all about open sourcing and letting more and more people get access to these sorts of tools. And so Definitely wanted just to mention that here, if you are into hardware tinkering on your PlayStation 5 and you might have a use for this, then I would encourage you to go ahead and check it out. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.